There are some homes that do not ask to be understood quickly. They do not greet us with brightness or perfection or the sharp freshness of something newly arranged. They wait quietly. They let the light fall slowly across their old surfaces. They let the season gather at the edges. And little by little, they begin to feel less like a house we are looking at and more like a memory we have stepped into. This is that kind of home. A dark, romantic Victorian historic cottage, softened by autumn, filled with the feeling of time, tenderness, and things that have been loved for many years. It has the mood of an old story left open in a quiet room. Not sad exactly, but touched by longing. Not lonely exactly, but aware of all the people who have come and gone. The beauty here does not feel new. It feels remembered. And perhaps that is why it reaches something deep inside us. Because many of us carry a home like this somewhere in the heart. Maybe it was not quite as grand. Maybe it was smaller, simpler, more ordinary. But it had that same feeling of being held. A place where the days moved slower. Where the sound of footsteps meant someone was nearby. Where the rooms were not arranged for photographs, but filled gradually by family life, by habits, by seasons, by the quiet evidence of years. When we think of old house memories, we often do not remember everything clearly. We remember the filing, the hush of morning before the day began, the low glow of evening, the sense that every corner had its own little history. We remember a mother's presence or a grandmother's way of making a room feel settled without trying too hard. We remember being young enough to believe that home was something permanent, something that would always be waiting exactly as we left it. That is the emotional power of a nostalgic home. It gives us, for a little while, the feeling that the past has not completely disappeared. In this cottage, the mood is deeper and more mature than a bright country home. It does not feel cheerful in a simple way. It feels reflective. It feels like autumn has entered not only the garden, but the rooms themselves. The whole home seems to carry the quiet richness of late season days, when the air grows cooler, the evenings arrive earlier, and memory begins to feel closer than usual. Autumn has a way of turning the heart backward. In spring, we think of what is beginning. In summer, we think of warmth and fullness. But autumn asks us to notice what has lasted, what has faded gently, what still remains after the brightest days have passed. That is why this home feels so deeply connected to the season. It is not only decorated for autumn. It seems to understand autumn. There is a softened drama in the atmosphere, but it is not theatrical. It is personal. The kind of mood that belongs to older homes where beauty is allowed to be imperfect. Rooms like these do not feel staged. They feel inherited. They feel as if someone kept certain things not because they were valuable, but because they mattered. And that is one of the most touching qualities of a vintage home. Old things have a different kind of beauty when they seem to have been kept by love. A worn edge, a softened surface, a faded detail, a pattern that has grown quieter over time, these are not flaws in a home like this. They are part of its soul. They remind us that a house does not become meaningful because everything is perfect. It becomes meaningful because life has passed through it. There is comfort in a room that does not erase its own age. Modern life often teaches us to replace, refresh, simplify, and make everything look clean and current. And there is nothing wrong with that. But sometimes the heart longs for a place that has not been wiped clean of memory. A place where the layers remain. A place where time is not hidden but honored. Older homes often felt less polished but more personal. Less arranged but more alive. Less controlled but more emotionally rich. They carried the marks of real living. They had seasons built into them. They had corners that seemed to belong to different years. They had a softness that came not from design alone, but from being used, touched, repaired, remembered, and loved. That is the feeling this relaxing home tour invites us into. Not a perfect life, not a perfect house, but a peaceful home shaped by memory. As the images move slowly, there is a sense of walking through a place after everyone has gone quiet for the evening. Nothing feels rushed. Nothing asks for attention too loudly. The home seems to be breathing in its own slow rhythm. Every room feels gathered, as though it has taken decades to become itself. This is the opposite of a house made all at once. And that is one of the gentlest cottage decorating ideas we can take from it. To create a feeling like this in our own space, we do not need to copy the home exactly. We do not need a historic house or grand old rooms. We only need to think about atmosphere. We need to ask what makes a room feel like it has a heart. Soft lighting is one of the first answers. Not harsh brightness, not the kind of light that flattens everything, but a gentle glow that allows shadows to remain. A home feels more comforting when the light is allowed to rest in certain places and fade in others. It creates quiet. It gives the room a sense of evening even before the day is fully done. Texture is another part of the feeling. A cozy cottage does not usually feel beautiful because everything matches. It feels beautiful because there are layers. Softness against age. Smoothness beside roughness. Something delicate near something sturdy. These quiet contrasts make a space feel human. They make a room feel touched by life, not assembled from a single idea. Patterns can help too, especially when they feel gentle and familiar. The best patterns for this mood are not loud or modern. They feel as if they might have belonged to another generation. They bring back the feeling of family homes, older bedrooms, quiet sitting areas, and places where people once spent long afternoons without needing to hurry. Collected pieces matter more than perfect sets. A nostalgic interior does not need to look newly purchased. In fact, it often feels more comforting when it looks gathered slowly. One meaningful piece from family, one secondhand find, one detail that feels handmade, one old thing that simply makes you feel something. These small choices can create a deeper emotional layer than anything bought all at once. Seasonal home decor can also be done in a quiet way. It does not have to announce itself. For autumn, the mood can come through warmth, softness, natural touches, and a sense of gathering inward. The season does not need to overwhelm the home. It can simply settle into it. That is what makes this dark, romantic cottage feel so emotionally complete. Autumn is present, but not as a theme placed on top. It feels like a memory moving through the rooms. A reminder of cooler afternoons, family meals, old conversations, and evenings when the outside world became dim and the home became everything. For many viewers, especially those who have lived through many seasons of life, this kind of home may stir feelings that are difficult to name. It may bring back the memory of being a child in an older house. It may bring back the feeling of visiting relatives, of hearing grown-up voices in another room, of seeing the day grow darker while someone kept the home warm and steady. It may remind you of a person, someone who knew how to make ordinary life feel safe, someone who kept things carefully, someone who did not need a perfect home to create a beautiful one, someone whose love showed up in small, repeated ways. And sometimes, when we watch a calming home video like this, we are not only looking at cottage style or vintage cottage inspiration. We are looking for that feeling again. The feeling of being cared for. The feeling of a room where nothing had to be explained. The feeling of belonging somewhere before life became complicated. A home like this carries that kind of emotional weight. It feels as though it has known happiness, but also quiet grief. It has held laughter, but also silence. It has seen seasons return again and again, each one leaving behind a little more softness, a little more depth, a little more memory. That is why the mood feels romantic in an older, more thoughtful way. Not the romance of something new, but the romance of something remembered. A love that has aged. A love that once filled the rooms with warmth. A love that may no longer be present in the same way, but still seems to live in the atmosphere. There is a tender ache in that. Many people reach a point in life where the past no longer feels far away. It visits unexpectedly. A certain light in a room, a quiet season, a familiar feeling in an old house. Suddenly we remember what we thought we had forgotten. The sound of a loved one moving through the house. The comfort of being called in from outside. The feeling of watching autumn arrive when we were young enough not to know how quickly the years would pass. This peaceful home allows those memories to return softly. It does not force them. It simply makes room for them. That is one of the great gifts of a relaxing slideshow like this. It gives the mind permission to slow down. It gives the heart a place to wander. It lets us rest inside a world that feels separate from daily noise, errands, appointments, news, and responsibilities. For a few minutes, we can live inside a dream of home. Not a real estate tour, not a practical plan, not a checklist, just a quiet journey through atmosphere, memory, and beauty. And sometimes that is exactly what we need. The house becomes a kind of emotional shelter, a place where the viewer can breathe more slowly, a place where old feelings are not pushed away, a place where nostalgia does not feel painful but comforting. Even if there is longing here, it is a gentle longing. The kind that reminds us we have loved, we have belonged, we have been shaped by places and people that still live inside us. When we look at a vintage home like this, we may also begin to understand our own homes differently. Maybe the most meaningful spaces are not the most perfect ones. Maybe the rooms we remember most are the ones that had small imperfections, softened corners, uneven histories, and a little too much evidence of real life. Maybe what makes a home beautiful is not how current it looks, but how deeply it feels connected to someone's story. This is a comforting thought, because it means we do not need to chase perfection to create warmth. We can begin with gentleness. We can lower the brightness. We can allow softness back into the room. We can keep a few things simply because they make us feel close to someone. We can layer the home slowly without rushing to finish it. We can let the seasons bring small changes. We can choose comfort over display, feeling over fashion, memory over perfection. That is where true home decor inspiration becomes personal. Not in copying every detail, but in understanding the emotion behind it. This home teaches us that beauty can be quiet. It can be shadowed. It can be old. It can be imperfect. It can hold both comfort and sadness at the same time. And perhaps for many of us, that feels more honest than a home that only tries to look bright and happy. Life itself is layered. A real heart carries joy and loss, gratitude and longing, tenderness and memory. So when a home reflects those layers, it feels deeply human. It feels like a place where we do not have to pretend that everything is new, easy, or untouched by time. In this cottage, the old walls seem to understand that. They seem to say, stay a while. Let the evening come. Let memory sit beside you. Let the season soften what still aches. And as autumn deepens around this home, the feeling becomes even more powerful. Outside, the year is turning. The brightness of summer has passed. The air feels more thoughtful. The days ask us to come inside, to gather close, to notice warmth where we find it. Autumn is a season of return, return to home, return to memory, return to the inner rooms of the heart. It reminds us that endings can be beautiful too. Not because they are easy, but because they help us see what mattered. This is why old houses and autumn belong so naturally together. Both carry the feeling of time. Both are beautiful because they are not untouched. Both invite reflection. Both make us aware of what has changed and what somehow remains. In a home like this, the season does not feel decorative. It feels emotional. The quietness, the depth, the gathered feeling, the sense of a year settling down, all of it becomes part of the story. The cottage becomes a place where autumn memory can live. A place for remembering family, old love, past homes, and the strange comfort of days that are gone but not entirely lost. For viewers watching at night or resting in a quiet room, this kind of calming home video can feel almost like company. The images move gently. The music carries the feeling. The rooms seem to welcome you without asking anything from you. You do not have to fix, plan, compare, or improve. You can simply look, listen, breathe, and let the home do what nostalgic interiors often do best. They bring the heart back to itself. And maybe that is the reason we are drawn to cozy home videos. They are not only about decorating. They are about emotional rest. They give us a place to place our memories for a while. They remind us that even if the world has changed, even if the people we miss are no longer near, even if the houses from our childhood are gone or different now, the feeling of home can still be found in small, quiet ways. It can be found in softness, in warm evening light, in the decision to keep something because it carries meaning. In a room that welcomes imperfection, in a season that teaches us to slow down, in the gentle act of making a home feel lived in, loved, and emotionally true. So as this relaxing slideshow continues, let yourself enter the house slowly. Let the rooms feel like pages from an old family story. Let the mood remind you of places that shaped you. Let the autumn stillness bring back whatever it wants to bring back. Maybe you will remember a childhood home. Maybe you will remember someone's hands, someone's voice, someone's way of making ordinary days feel safe. Maybe you will remember a season from long ago when the world seemed smaller, the evenings seemed warmer, and home was the center of everything. And if a little sadness comes with that memory, let it be gentle. Sometimes sadness is simply love remembering where it came from. This dark, romantic Victorian cottage is not asking us to live in the past. It is offering us a peaceful way to visit it, to honor it, to take from it what still comforts us, to bring a little of that softness into the present. Because even now we can create homes that feel slower. Homes that do not need to be perfect to be beautiful. Homes that carry warmth, history, and feeling. Homes that remind us who we were, who loved us, and what still matters. As we come toward the end of this quiet journey, let the home stay with you for a moment. Let its old-world atmosphere, its autumn calm, and its deeply nostalgic feeling settle in your heart. Let it remind you that beauty does not always have to be bright. Sometimes beauty is dim, warm, time-worn, and full of failing. Sometimes the most peaceful rooms are the ones that seem to remember. And sometimes a house we have never entered can still remind us of somewhere we have always carried inside. If this home brought back a memory for you, I would love to hear it. Does this cottage remind you of somewhere from your past? Did it bring back the feeling of a person, a season, or an old house you still hold in your heart? Or did it simply give you a quiet place to rest for a while? Share whatever you felt in the comments. Your memory may be exactly the kind of gentle story someone else needs to read tonight.